Oh my goodness, Horikoshi. How long are you gonna make me wait? Is it really too much to ask just to see Gigantomachia punch someone in the face? Can we just get this fight started already? What's up guys, it's Truth Hero, and welcome back to another My Hero Academia chapter review. Today we'll be discussing Boku no Hero Academia chapter 238 in the manga. Now, although it's a very short chapter, we'll touch upon two major things. One, the theme of liberation. We saw how Shigaraki was liberated from his memories, and he's let them go, and he's fully awakened his power and his quirk. And we also see how Re-Destro responds to this with his technology. And two, we'll discuss why Dr. Ujiko is actually testing Shigaraki as All for One's true successor. Let's dive in. Despite it being a very short chapter, and not containing the fight scene we all wanted to see, it offers us a very interesting perspective from the Liberation Army and Re-Destro's point of view. We open with Shigaraki destroying the hand and showing us that he's free and fully liberated. But this is all a parallel into the mind of Re-Destro and makes him think about his goal and his ultimate mission in liberation. So to continue the fight, Re-Destro takes two 100% stress bombs and smacks Shigaraki with them. Except Shigaraki just stands there and disintegrates them both. Which, I gotta ask, just exactly how liberated has Shigaraki become? It seems like there's nothing that's holding him back. And as for his decay quirk, just exactly how powerful is it now? Then Re-Destro goes plus ultra with his Detonarat Co stress amplification device called Crestro. This kind of reminds me of the Iron Man suit that was designed to stop the Hulk's rampage, which it actually might need to do again pretty soon against Gigantomachia. I'm sorry, but I just gotta point out one of the biggest flexes in manga right now. After Re-Destro puts on this stress amplification device, and really it's a suit, and after he basically becomes Iron Man and the Hulk combined, and tells Shigaraki that he's at 150% stress level, Shigaraki just says, "Oh, is that so? Well, ain't that great?" Shigaraki don't give a damn anymore. But then Re-Destro makes a very important comment, and it's one we'll talk about throughout this chapter review, but he notes that Shigaraki seems like a very liberated person, almost carefree in a sense, and he can't seem to understand why. We of course know it's because Shigaraki crumbled the hand, and he's finally relinquished all the memories of his father and just his past that have been holding him back previously. In fact, Shigaraki even mentions this to Re-Destro when he uses his stress bombs. He says, "Hey man, I get it. It's fun to absolutely destroy things you don't like." We see snippets of Re-Destro or Rikia's backstory and learn that his whole entire life he's had one single purpose placed upon him: to use his powers to execute his father Destro's will, to liberate the people and show them that quirks or special abilities shouldn't be tamed, they should be free to use, and that really it's just human nature. Yet in all this time, has Re-Destro or Rikia been liberated? Is he truly free to find his own destiny and forge his own path in life? Shigaraki even comments on him that, "Gee, this Re-Destro guy, he seems rather stiff." And to Shigaraki's credit, Re-Destro can't seem to understand why Shigaraki feels so liberated and free and has this very carefree air about him when he hasn't accepted Re-Destro's personal path towards liberation, or what the Meta Liberation Army counts as liberation, and special abilities. Shigaraki doesn't accept any of that, yet he's the most free person in the world right now. So I gotta ask, is Re-Destro or that kid inside him, Rikia, truly free? Let me know what you guys think down below in the comments. Is Re-Destro free? Or does he have the same sense of liberation that Shigaraki possesses? I don't think he's truly free. His whole lifetime, he's sort of been living a lie. He's hiding who he truly is as the son of Destro, and his plans for the Meta Liberation Army and liberating everyone of their quirks or hindrance of them and using special abilities. His whole life has been culminating in a moment where he can resurrect his father's will. He even says that his powers are nothing but a means to execute Destro's will. But what about Re-Destro's will? What about the boyish dreams of a kid named Rikia? Now, I won't go so far as to say that Re-Destro is some sort of tragic villain, okay? He became a rich CEO and could have done whatever he wanted. He'll get no sympathy from me. This little backstory doesn't change my opinion on him. But it does offer us an interesting lesson in not living in other people's shadows and not letting other people tell you what you should do with your life. So if there's a moral to the whole Re-Destro backstory, it's that you should chase your dreams. And you should chase your dreams. With all this deep contemplative thought, stress levels receding faster than his hairline, okay? In Re-Destro meeting Shigaraki, a truly liberated and free person, perhaps the burden of his mission to liberate people and show people that special abilities should reign supreme and be untamed is slowly lifting from his body. Maybe that's why he's losing stress and he's able to relax in this moment. Then again, he's also asking himself, maybe my mission and what I'm doing and what I've worked so hard to attain isn't actually truly liberation. Because here's some other guy who I hated as the symbol of terror in the League of Villains, and he's more free than me. But, hey, it's too late to back out now. Re-Destro has to go beyond villainy and use his new weapons and tech plus Ultra. And you'll certainly need it against Gigantomachia, but at this point, even Shigaraki is so powerful. So Re-Destro better hope that that suit named Crestro can really turn the tide in this battle. After this, we get a nice pan back to the rest of the League of Villains, and it's interesting to note that twice in his clones are carrying Guran and Toga. And the clone of Toga. Which, I gotta ask, why would you carry the clone of Toga? Oh, unless they didn't have enough time to complete the blood transfusion and save Toga, which, in that case, they're really running out. So then we have this scene with Mr. Compress, and can we get some Mr. Compress backstory at some point? But anyway, he hops on the phone with Dr. Ujiko and says, "Dude, transport us now. Okay, you need to get us out of here. Teleport us right now, or Gigantomachia is gonna kill us. He's rampaging, he's out of control. Help." And Dr. Ujiko's like, "New phone, who dis?" No, but he's like, I'm not getting involved in anyone that's being tracked, okay? Call me back when you lose the Liberation Army. Also, that sentimental thing you said about Shigaraki being all-for-one successor and being in danger, yeah, he should go through that. He should be in a corner. What do you guys make of this? Is Dr. Ujiko being totally harsh here, or is there something else going on in his mind? Is he very calculated in his plans? Personally, I think given the last chapter and the nature of the relationship between Ujiko and All For One, the Doctor knows that it's very hard to become All For One's true successor and the top villain, and he's really curious to see if Shigaraki will do it, whether that puts him in harm or doesn't. Also, I think that Dr. Ujiko knows Gigantomachia won't kill him. He's familiar with Nomu specimens and John-chan, and perhaps even taking little kids' quirks away, so he certainly has information on Gigantomachia. He just wants to see Shigaraki actually overcome this test, and he knows that he can do it. It's all part of this elaborate plan that All For One and Ujiko have had since they met Little Tenko. So right now, the Doctor wants to kick back and watch this amazing boxing match as Shigaraki fights his way out of this corner. Also, listen, Dabi, just sit down, don't speak, okay? We all know the ice dude, Giten, had you clearly beat. I mean, he roasted you without even trying due to your quirk's weakness. Alright? Take a seat, Todoroki. Giten flees the battle with Dabi to try and put Gigantomachia on ice and gets hit with one of his attacks. It looks like a piece of debris or a building just hits him right in the chest. We see the politician say, "Giten-sama, are you okay?" And I truly wonder, is Giten a goner? I actually hope he's okay, not for his sake, but for Dabi's. That's right, you're all expecting some grand Dabi backstory. Oh look, it's actually Toyo Todoroki, who would have guessed it? No. See, if Giten is not there to fight the battle with Dabi, then there's no purpose in exploring his past. See, if Dabi doesn't have a rival or at least a special person to fight, that forces him to conquer his past trauma and his fears and explore his backstory, and we as an audience get to explore it with him, and that forces him to, in mid-battle, level up and awaken his true firepower, then there's no point in doing it. So, sad to say that if Giten is actually out of this battle and injured, we won't see Dabi's backstory. You know, no light, no darkness, well, no ice of Giten, no true flames of Dabi. And once again, Horikoshi being a real tease. The last scene is Re-Destro realizing that Shigaraki's suffered a lot and gone through this reawakening process where he's emerged as a fully liberated person. but he has this feeling in his chest. What do you guys think this is? Comment below. We know it's not fear since Re-Destro's special ability would just convert it into energy, so I actually think it's pride. I actually think Re-Destro is proud of Shigaraki for becoming a fully liberated person, and he's almost inspired by him. Now, I don't know how that works with his special ability since he needs stress and fear to become powerful, and maybe being proud or inspired might reduce that stress and reduce his power, but in the end, Shigaraki was powerful because he relinquished his memories in his past. So maybe Re-Destro can finally accept Rikia, the boy, and forge his own path and be truly liberated and therefore be truly powerful. And like we saw at the end, there's one world-changing attack coming our way. So if you're out now, plus ultra. But do stay tuned for a discussion about Gigantomachia. It's the one you've been anticipating. It's the fight you've all been waiting for. Ladies and gentlemen, no, that's not happening in this chapter. But we can still talk about him. So, my thoughts on Gigantomachia. 1. At the end of this chapter, he says, Master Successor. So, we were originally confused as to who he's running towards. Spinner said, oh no, Shigaraki's in danger. And Gaten and the other members of the Liberation Army said, oh no, Re-Destro's in danger. Well, now it's clear that Gigantomachia does have a soft spot for Shigaraki, and he's running towards this conflict area to protect him, or to make sure at the very least that he's the one that fights Shigaraki. So he's headed towards Re-Destro, and he's gonna pummel anyone that stands in his way. Also, this fits in nice with Dr. Ujiko's plan and his overall personality. I gotta believe that he knows Shigaraki isn't in as imminent danger as the League of Villains suspect. I mean, given his relationship with All for One and all they've done to sort of engineer Tenko into becoming Shigaraki, the ultimate villain, I can't help but think that he wouldn't just sacrifice him easily as some tribute to Gigantomachia. He knows it's going to be hard for Shigaraki to conquer Gigantomachia, and believe me, Shigaraki should go through the fire to become refined steel. But Dr. Ujiko, to put it in his terms, he's not going to sacrifice 15 plus years of scientific research to this rampaging giant, especially when All for One cared about Shigaraki very much. He didn't have a big heart, but Shigaraki was in it. And the last thing is, Gigantomachia is more of a emotional creature. So, given this, when he finally does confront Re-Destro, this might make it easier for him to tame, or to be tamed by Shigaraki. Dr. Ujiko, All for One, and even other members of the Liberation Army and League of Villains, they're not very emotional. But Gigantomachia, he's powerful but very emotional. So if Shigaraki does something to absolutely blow him away and maybe flick Re-Destro away, just snap, well, he's not Thanos, but just crumble him in one go, Gigantomachia might actually submit himself to Shigaraki as the villain king. So if you guys like these manga reviews and My Hero Academia content, be sure to enroll at UA today by clicking subscribe. Also, let me know your thoughts down below in the comments. What do you guys think about Re-Destro being a fully liberated person? What do you think about Shigaraki sort of crumbling this hand? Is he fully liberated? And, of course, what do you think about the test that Shigaraki's going through that Dr. Ujiko is kind of just laying back seeing what he thinks? And lastly, what's going to happen when this 3-way, 5-way, no, 100-way battle of villains happens? When Re-Destro, Gigantomachia, Shigaraki, Gaten, if he's alive, and all these members come rushing in, what's going to happen in this battle? Well, it's only going to be one thing, and that's plus ultra.